Hey, so hello everybody. I am going to be doing a bit of a most likely longer sit down chat video, so if you don't want to watch this talking basically about emotions and shit, I suggest you just don't watch. I was kind of debating about making this video or not, because I guess it's kind of personal. It'll be personal without being personal, but basically I just wasn't sure if anyone would care to see this. However, I also remember that in the past I have done searching around on YouTube for people that are also going through, I don't even know, emotional breakdowns, if you will, and yeah, and watching videos that helped me or just made me feel less alone. I'm going to try not to get emotional as my eyes are tearing up already. If you can't tell from whatever the title of this video is, yeah, I've just been like in a very weird place lately. We are nearing a full moon very soon. But to be honest, I've just been kind of like a bit of an emotional wreck for like the past 3 weeks, I'd say. I was thinking about titling this video Healing Hurts for a few different reasons. I don't know if that's what the title will remain. Basically, there's just been a lot going on. Like I said, this is going to be personal but not personal, because I'm not going to share like actual circumstances or whatever necessarily that have happened in my life, besides talking about my thyroid a little bit. But I think that that's just kind of part of the Healing Hurts message that I've kind of been getting. I think lately I've been thinking a lot about my goals for the future and what I want in terms of like my life and all those deep questions. And there's a lot of like fear that comes with change. I think I've talked about that before. But also there's this like yearning for change, I feel, and I don't know where exactly I'm finding balance within that, or where I will. There's another part of that which kind of goes along with, I think, just like feeling supported and whatnot. But I just like, I'm clearly a very like emotional, deep person, and I have a lot of really amazing friendships and relationships that encompass that, but there's definitely this like level that I get to where I feel like, you know, nobody understands, and it's definitely, I'm a person that has a very hard time vocalizing how I'm feeling. Like, I can feel feelings, but in order to like express them, it's like I have no way to really help, I feel, others grasp exactly what I am feeling. I mean, if you're an empath or just a very empathetic, sensitive person, you'd understand, like, even just from watching the news, you can get like super bad depression just from hearing about like the rainforest burning down, hearing about hurricanes destroying lives, something like walking down the street and seeing a homeless person that's really suffering. Like, even though I might not express like outwardly how that makes me feel, it's like inside I feel like so much like sadness and pain and disparity that comes from all of that, and that weighs on my heart as much as like my own emotions do. I feel like lately there's just been like so much heaviness. See, I told you that this was gonna happen. Okay, I'm gonna power through. And then it's like when your own emotions, sadness, heaviness come into play, then it's just like so much. Part of this that is very visual for me, it's a very clear way for me to see when my body is definitely over the top with stress and heaviness in terms of emotion, is seeing it through my thyroid. I want to say it's a blessing and a curse, even though I absolutely feel like in this moment that it's so much of a curse. Physically, by looking at myself, seeing my thyroid acting up, getting swollen. I also have other symptoms like my hair falling out, having constant fatigue, muscle like achiness where it feels like I had a 5-hour workout the day before when I actually just walked around leisurely, and my muscles are just like so completely weak that it's like hard to walk up a hill. And then also I think it just comes with like stress, not so much my thyroid, but I get super nauseous, and basically I just like don't feel like eating whatsoever, and then when I do eat, then I feel super sick and disgusting. So anyways, I had a shower yesterday and I washed my hair, and I had so much hair fall out. It hasn't been that bad for like a long time, and anyways, pulling clots of my hair out of my head, I was just like, ooh, we've really gotten to a point now. I also got blood work back the other day, and yeah, my TSH levels, which is a thyroid stimulating hormone, we didn't do like a full thyroid panel with this test. It was just, yeah, like a quick thing, but they were higher than normal, which I mean, normal is a very big range, and I definitely need to go back and like sit down, talk with my naturopath more about it. Anyways, it's just a little disappointing when I guess you feel like all the hard work you've been doing is not making as big of a difference as you thought it was. Now, whether or not the tests are reflective of just the stress from the past like 3 weeks, I'm not totally sure, but it's definitely this part of, I guess, the healing process that's really difficult. Feeling like you should be further ahead and you're not. On top of all of that, just kind of wanting things in life, I think, to maybe go forward more. Of course, I'm not saying that like my life is falling apart by any means. That's not what this is. This is me just feeling the deep feelings, and things in life are going really well in most aspects. And maybe for some people that don't quite understand like emotional depth that like I guess some people have, it can seem like maybe I'm really over exaggerating or being very dramatic, and I'm not trying to be. I'm trying to be very authentic. Yeah, definitely around like family and friends and people, I don't show the full extent of the emotion that I feel on a daily basis, and I can't, because then I would definitely seem over dramatic. But holding it in it definitely just kind of has a downward spiral in terms of my own personal state of being, and then I get really low to the point where it just kind of all comes out. I feel like that's definitely happened this time a little bit. I probably should have been maybe more open and like reached out a little bit more, but yeah, I mean, I feel like when you're emotional, you're also kind of prone to like isolation, and I actually really needed that. And so anyways, I've had a few days that have been really good just by myself, alone, isolated, which has been great. Anyways, I guess in terms of like what I'm doing to get myself kind of into a better place, I've just been like reflecting a lot, and I think like prioritizing self-care, not just like alone time with myself, but actually caring for myself. I've done a lot of journaling and being actually totally honest with my feelings in my journal, because I do that too, where like I try and sugarcoat things that I'm writing in my journal, which sounds bizarre, but I do it. So I have been journaling a lot and like being very honest. Also utilizing some really supportive herbs and everything. I am not taking them necessarily as like teas and tinctures and whatnot, but if I've ever mentioned vaginal steaming or yoni steaming, it's a really wonderful way for women to connect with herbs and support your body that way. So that's what I'm going to be doing a little bit more often from now on. I would say reaching out to friends, but that's kind of been a big part of it now too, is that a lot of people are kind of coming and going. Well, not really coming. A few people are kind of going at the moment. And so I definitely feel like in terms of community, I have a little bit less of that. And I'm a fairly introverted person, so community is not always like the forefront of my mind. However, sometimes you need that support, and so I think I'm definitely going to try to reach out to communities that I haven't really connected with in a little while. But I think it's probably a good time to do that. Even something as simple as seeing my naturopath, who is lovely and supportive and reassuring of things in terms of my health, but also like emotional support and everything. I think just understanding that that's really important too, and although it is an investment, it's an investment in kind of my health and happiness. Yeah, it's been a bit of a weird place lately. I feel like I've been losing some of my independence lately, and it's a really weird feeling because basically my whole life I feel like I've been fairly independent, and I've always striven to be more independent, and I'm at a point right now where I've kind of been not relying on other people, but focusing less on myself. And that's the kind of person I am, and I think that it's a good thing that I look out and care for others so much, but I just haven't like really done anything that I guess like is really for me, and I don't even know what that is yet. So trying to find a balance between independent and then also sharing time, space, support, love with other people. I feel like why this whole hurts to heal thing came to my mind was just probably because it's like one of those roller coaster things. Obviously everybody, I'm sure, has heard the whole like healing's not linear thing. Growth is not linear, and I, through all my journaling just recently, have been reading back through a lot of my old journal entries over the past 2 years, and yeah, I've grown a ton, and in terms of healing a lot of things, physically, emotionally, spiritually, there's been a lot that I've done, and so yeah, I'm glad that I can recognize that all that has happened and that I've come, you know, this far, if you will. But obviously there's always kind of points where you feel low, and then you have to grow again from that, and that's part of the whole healing thing. But it hurts to feel like you're back at square one, even though you're not. But yeah, it feels like you're at a lowest point when after all of this time you are healing. And so this video is gonna get too long. I feel like there's a lot more I could say just in terms of everybody's journey being unique, and how I completely understand that there is much worse happening out in the world, and trust me, I get that, I feel that, but at the same time, like, you can't deny that what you go through and what you feel is also valid. But yeah, okay, wow. So hopefully I can get back to more lighthearted, upbeat videos shortly. I kind of just wanted to film this because I, at the moment, just feel like I don't have a ton of outlets to express myself in at the moment, and this is one of them. Even though it's just me talking to a camera and people on the other side of their computers, it still helps me just to vocalize it, I think, in whatever way it comes across, because I told you I'm not very good at putting my thoughts and feelings into words. But yeah, okay, thank you for watching. If you watched this far, please comment, rate, and subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Thanks guys, bye.